if you're in the Finger Lakes and you're a music lover, you'll want to listen up. I'm Janelle Bradshaw, and I'm here to talk about this week's music coming up. You can find all of the events on the FLX Music247.com calendar. So everything I say today, if you can't remember, just head on to the calendar. There's hundreds of live music events coming up for this week and the upcoming summer. Well, I'm here in the studio with Paul. Thanks to Paul, my producer, and thank you to FingerLakes1.com for helping me put on this podcast. And I say we because, Who is here too. If you haven't met Who is our mascot, and who knows who's who, and who knows where to go in the Finger Lakes for live music. Where'd you go last weekend, Who? Oh, you were at the Vista? You mean you were out with Emily? Oh, and you had a good time, I hear. Well, anyway, Who gets out? Emily is my intern, and she's the creative director of my Instagram page. So if you haven't seen our Instagram page, make sure you get on over there. She's putting together some fantastic images to promote some of our venues that are participating with us on the calendar. So let's get going. So number one, don't forget, get to the calendar, FLXmusic247.com. It's an online searchable calendar for all the live music in the Finger Lakes. We're going to talk about four things this week. We're going to talk about hot spots, hot shots, tried and true artists and venues, and something new. Here we go. Well, in our Hotspots segment, I let you know some venues that offer music programs that I think you'll really enjoy for this coming week. And we'll be talking about events starting on Thursday, which is it's the 15th of June through the following Wednesday, the 21st. So down at Vineyard View on Cayuga Lake, a band, Big Blue House, will be performing. They're a super awesome group, a trio that plays blues and rock, and they're very esteemed musicians. They have a great time. Well, Vineyard View is a gorgeous winery that sits up on the hill overlooking the vineyards and Cayuga Lake, and it'll be a great show. That's going to be on Friday at 5 o'clock, Vineyard View. If you like Cayuga Lake, well, you can catch a lot of music there all weekend long. I suggest you start right with the Vineyard View. Well, over on Seneca Lake, the corridor of wineries and breweries is just on fire. There is music going on at most of them, and Friday night is a really hot night. But I'd like to point out that the Oasis at Hazlitt's 1852 winery will be presenting music on 3 stages over 2 days. They have Roll the Dice Band playing on Friday night from 5:30 to 7:30. They're a blues, rock, and classic rock band to get you up out of your chair. And Peaceful Harry Havery will perform on Sunday the 18th from 2 to 5. In the same corridor on the east side of Seneca Lake is Wagner Winery. Did you know they also have the Wagner Valley Brewery? So they have recently rebuilt their deck area, and their view is called the Vantage Point, and it really is. It just projects out into the lake, and the view is incredible there. So they have a lot to offer at Wagner, and they'll be offering the Tarps Rock Band, which is a highly entertaining rock and roll band throughout the decades. That'll be really fun. Over in Naples, Inspire More is a beautiful place right in the outskirts of town. They also have the True Roots Cafe there. They're going to present a ticketed event, White Woods and Folk Faces. This is some great Americana and some bluegrass, and they're going to present them on Saturday the 16th. From 3 to 11 p.m. If you get on the site, you can click directly on the event. It'll take you to a ticket link and more information about the bands and what Inspire More is offering for the weekend. Should be great. Another great town to visit is Naples, New York. Inspire More is there. There's some other venues as Naples Brewery's right downtown. The Naples Hotel, they have a full lunch menu and bar there, so you can make a day of it and head on down to Naples and Inspire More. Another Cayuga Lake venue that's a hotspot offers music all summer long, including some late night DJs for your dancing pleasure on the weekends, is the Switz, they call it for short, the Switzerland Inn. It's a they have full bar, full menu, lots of specials. I think they have crab night on Wednesdays, but that's not when they have music. But a great blues artist, Doc Caballero, will be playing there on Sunday from 4 to 7. And in the soft spot of the week on Tuesday, you can find a local favorite, John LaManna, playing down there also at 7 p.m. Well, Buttonwood Grove is a gorgeous venue, right, I don't know, 10 miles south of Seneca Falls, and they're opening their summer series with Bob and Dee. Now, they'll be playing on Saturday, the 17th from 1 to 4, and I'd like to note that the Buttonwood Grove summer series gets started with music on Fridays and Saturdays beginning July 6th. Up until then, they'll just be Saturdays only, but you can catch music there from 1 to 4 each Saturday. So the Hot Spots segment, wow, Hot Shots, I think that's what I meant, segment, are bands that I really love. So I try not to be too biased, but I am. And so when I talk about the Hot Shots, I try to mix it up a little bit. So to get started is a great band that I know and love, Aaron and the Backwoods Blues Project. They'll be playing at 6 Mile Creek down in Ithaca on Thursday night from 6 to 8. I booked this band to play for an event at the National Women's Hall of Fame later in July just because they play excellent music and 3 out of 5 of their members are women artists, so get down and see them. Paradigm Shift is playing this week for the Jazz Happy Hour at Brewery Ardennes, and I'm promoting them because, again, they're a group that's been together, 3 artists that have been together for 20 plus years, and I'm going to sit in and play a couple tunes with them. So if you're around, come on down at 5:30 to Brewery Ardennes. Dark Hollow is a Grateful Dead tribute band, and they'll be playing at Prison City North in Auburn. Prison City North is a newer venue, and they've done it up just right. It's got that nice upscale feel, gorgeous patio, lots of seating options, stage for the band, food trucks. I mean, everything you need for a great night. And it was really nice when I went to an event there last summer. People weren't dressed up, but some people elevated their style for the concert. So if you're heading over to Prison City North, put your good shorts on. We'll see you there. At Finger Lake Cider House, Mad Daddy is performing. Mad Daddy is a daughter-father duo, and it's Maddie Walsh, and she plays in lots of configurations. They're fantastic. They'll be performing at the Finger Lake Cider House, which is down near Interlake, and on Friday the 16th from 6 to 9. I think they have a $5 cover charge. They have a great, I say oven roasted. That's not the right words. My mom would laugh at that. It's, wood-fired, same thing. Oven roasted, wood-fired pizzas down there, and a bunch of other stuff on their menu. They have a lot of cider and other beverages available. It's a great outdoor venue. There's room for kids there. Just make sure you keep your kids on a leash, okay? Anyway, another hot shot around the Finger Lakes is Dave Turner. Dave Turner is a solo artist. He's got a super smooth voice, and he works really hard on his music. And you can catch him all around the Finger Lakes this week. He'll be playing at Bagley's for their Golden Hour happy hour on Friday from 5 to 8. You can catch him way over in Homer at Homer Hops on Saturday at 6. And then around to the soft side of the week on Wednesday night, he'll be performing in Phelps at Crafty Ales and Loggers from 6:30 to 8:30. He's a great young man, very pleasant. Say hi to him. He'll talk to you and enjoy his music. And our friends at Abandoned Brewery, also on Cayuga Lake, are presenting the band 47 South this week. They're a great rock and roll throughout the ages band, too. There's something about rock and roll throughout the ages. I mean, classic rock from the 80s on is excellent music, but there's something about those 50s, 60s, and 70s that kind of inspire you and just get you up out of your chair, tap your foot, do a little, a little bit of dancing. So I hope you can get down to Abandoned Brewery to see them. They're a 7-piece band, so they got a lot of sound. All right, well, our next segment is Tried and True, and I love this segment because these are some of our partners and bands that really, when you go to see them or if you go to visit, when you show up, you're going to have a great time just because they're doing it right and they're offering great stuff. So Keg and Barrel is a tap room on the east side of Cayuga Lake, and they sit up a little on the hill, and they have a gorgeous deck outside. They have a covered area, and they also offer their music right outside, so you can sit inside if you want. They have a nice pub menu and 20 different beverages on tap there, and they're going to offer the band Mystic Twangers this week. Mystic Twangers is is a pretty interesting configuration. So the twanger part is a lot of bluegrass influence. However, the mystic part gives you a little bit of unusual qualities to their music, and they present original music. So if you haven't heard them, now's the time on Friday from 6 to 9 at Keg and Barrel. Wolffy's right here in Seneca Falls is perhaps one of the few places on Cayuga Lake where you can actually eat lakeside. And they have a full menu and a full bar, lots of specials, and they have the cutest place called the Pontoon Stage. So they've taken an old pontoon boat and turned it into their covered stage. It's really awesome. They put down sand, and there's lots of seating right lakeside, and they have the boat bar. You can also boat right in to visit Wolffy's, and they're offering music 3 times this week, and almost every week they're offering music 3 times. Thin Jimmy on Friday, Why Not on Saturday, and the Roadhouse Prophets on Sunday from 4 to 7. The Roadhouse Prophets is a duo of excellent guitar players, and they just combine for an incredible sound. Each of those concerts will be fantastic. Grab some friends, head out to dinner, go sit by the lake. You don't have to own lakefront to be on the lakefront. You can go to Wolffy's for dinner. Speaking about lakefronts, in Geneva, 41 Lakefront and the F2T, that's Farm to Table restaurant and bar, will be offering Rita Venuti and John Bloom. This duo is a pretty well-known duo around the Geneva area. They'll perform Saturday the 17th from 7 to 10 p.m. 41 Lakefront offers music each Saturday. Typically, it's a pretty chill environment, but in Geneva, if you're out past 9, it's one of the only places that is going to offer music till 10, unless you're, partying a little bit harder than that at some other area venues, which I will not mention. And believe it or not, we are heading into the summer solstice. I can't believe it. Time warps around here between the weather and other events. I mean, we had the smoke event of last week, which kind of influenced almost the whole week of June, and suddenly it's approaching the end of June. So we'll enjoy the summer solstice party down at Hosmer Winery. They're out in a very rural, beautiful area. They're going to have music from 1 to 5, I think, 1 to 4. Down there, beautiful winery. They have an outdoor area, lots of seating. They'll have some barbecue, and I'm not sure who the band is, but it'll be great. And I love that place, so I had to talk about them. Another one of my favorite places, year-round places, is Moondog's Lounge in Auburn, New York. Also a late night, if you want to call 11 o'clock late night, which most people do, but they offer music year-round. It's funny, in the off-season, their hours is 7 to 10, so you can get home sooner. But in the summer, we modulate to 8 to 11 to keep up with the daylight. They're offering Bad Juju, a serious classic rock band that plays throughout the Finger Lakes, and it should be a really fun party. You can call and make a reservation for a table. A table gets you a guaranteed spot, or if you just are going in for a little bit, or you're going to stand at the bar or whatever, that's free. The table has a small fee attached to it to help offset the cost of the bands. And on the radar this week, too, the CC and LS. What's that? The Cool Club and the Lifker Sisters, of course. And they'll be performing a special Father's Day concert at Rose Hill Mansion in Geneva. Talk about beauty. Bring your blanket and your lawn chair and sit out over Seneca Lake high above at a classic Greek Revival historic mansion and listen to some fabulous music. And the Cool Club and the Lifker Sisters are old and new together, and they play some great hits from the Andrews Sisters all the way through some new hits that were written by one of the sisters. Marilla Gonzalez is writing music for their group now, too, and some fantastic music to be heard. Get on over there. I'm hoping to make it there. Sounds like a great end to the weekend at Father's Day. So, our something new. I'm always on the lookout for new music throughout the Finger Lakes. This is me at home. I'm sure it's not you because you're not doing what I do, but this is me. Wow, I can't believe they're playing. I'd like to go to that. Oh, I can't. Wow, check out that band. They're playing over here. I'd like to go to that. Oh, shoot, I can't. And so maybe it's a little bit of FOMO for me, but I'm super happy to present the calendar to you so that you can find something to do and get excited about things that you've never heard about or that you'd like to check out that's new. So at Two Goats, another one of my favorite venues because of their view, they're offering two female fronted bands this weekend, Seal and High Ground on Friday, and Singing Trace and Stone Cold Miracle on Saturday from 6 to 9. Both of those bands are worth the trip down. And again, if you get in that corridor, you have the opportunity to bar hop. Make sure you have a driver, but you could probably see over the course of 3 hours, you could definitely spend an hour at each of 3 different places and hear 3 distinctly different types of music. And that would just be Friday, and you could turn around on Saturday and do the exact same thing. Because at the Scale House, I put something new, even though the Scale House is not new to my broadcast. The Surf Renegades with Dr. Robert Keefe is hot on the list this year. This band is going to play some California surfing music, and it looks really fun. And they'll be performing at the Seneca Falls Canal Fest as well in the afternoon to kind of get that beach vibe going at the canal side. Almost the same. Betty's Ghost is playing on Saturday at Scale House, and Major Big Time will kick off Father's Day from 4 to 7 on Sunday down at the Scale House. Excellent place to go. They're so cute down there. Their logo is beer and pizza, and their beer is great, and their pizza is amazing as well. There's some other things on the menu, and they have an outdoor stage, so you can have a lot of fun. Well, a place that I'm going to talk about a lot this summer is Lincoln Hill Farms. This venue is just, I think, 3 years old, and they went from a little tiny place to this incredible music venue. And this week they're offering the band Donna the Buffalo. Donna the Buffalo started, I believe this is true, if it's not you can fact check me, but Donna the Buffalo was one of the original bands at the Grassroots Festival, which is now in its 25th year, or maybe more. Maybe it's older than that. But they were, a local band that got together and played at the festival. Well, over the past 25 years, this band has grown to be a nationally recognized band, and they're going to play some Americana, bluegrass, folk-inspired stuff, but it's also joyous music that gets you dancing. And they'll be playing at Lincoln Hill Farms on Friday. These at Lincoln Hill Farms on Fridays and Saturdays are ticketed events. You can get right to the link by clicking on the event on FLXmusic247.com. I'm also excited about The Machine, who's a Pink Floyd tribute band. What can be better than Pink Floyd outside in a farm-like setting with lots of natural elements, including the starry night, and they have a lot of amenities over there. It's a super great place, but check out their tickets. There's a parking fee, but it's worth it. They're bringing in some acts that are definitely worth paying for. You'll have a great time. Another event that came on my radar that I'm super interested in is at Aurora Brewing. And I heard Aurora Brewing, which is in King Ferry, which is in a really rural area down on the east side of Cayuga Lake. I heard they're opening a new tap room in Victor, so you'll get a chance to taste their beer in a more urban setting pretty soon. But what I saw is they're offering this incredible event on Saturday the 17th from 12 to 3. They have 7 of Germany's top Riesling winemakers are going to be on site, and they're going to taste 20 different Rieslings. It seems like a lot of wine. Maybe you can't drink them all, just saying. And some German beer. But Feed the Fire, one of my favorite bands from the Ithaca area, will be performing there as well. That's a ticketed event, but well worth the cost again. Get right on the site. Limited tickets to only 50. I hope there's some left because I'm thinking about buying one. Another innovative place that just started last year, maybe the year before. It looks like once, but it's really the Spanish spelling of once, which is Spanish for 11. And it represents the wines from the 11 lakes of the Finger Lakes, and it's a tasting room. And each month they feature a few of the wineries and offer the cuisine of Samantha, I hope I say her name right, Busquez from Geneva. She's a prolific chef, and she works in a lot of different places. Half the time you go somewhere and say, wow, that was good, who's the chef? It's going to be Samantha. But she does a Monday night once a month at Once, does a Monday night offering. This month it's going to be a Peruvian dinner, so you can check out the menu on the website. And Janelle Bradshaw Trio is playing. That's me. Is playing there Monday at 5:30. So reservations are highly recommended. It's only a 2-hour event, 5:30 to 7:30. So get onto the site and reserve yourself a table. The menu looks great, and the music, I think it'll be pretty good. And lastly, rosé all day. Again, I'm not a huge wine connoisseur. I'm more of a music follower than a wine follower, but I heard that rosé has its own day or weekend or some kind of celebration, and the local palate's all for that, and they're going to celebrate by offering Sally Louise, a gifted solo artist, for 4 hours on Wednesday, the 21st of June. Local Palate is a farm-to-table restaurant. They offer a wide range of products, including daily specials, and you'll love it there. Say hi to Meg when you get there. She's a great owner, and they try to provide an atmosphere that really helps you relax and enjoy what the Finger Lakes has to offer as far as food and drink. Great place to go. Check it out. So that's really, those are I know I talk fast, but there's so much more. I think last Friday there were 62 events. Again, the calendar does not include any major cities, so there's no events in Syracuse or Rochester on the calendar. Everything that's on the calendar is accessible in the Finger Lakes. If you take a minute and check out the site, you'll see the color code. So if it's Friday night and you don't want to go far from home, just find your color that keeps you close to home, and you can quickly see the events that are in your area without reading every single one of them. Here's some things I'd like to note that are coming up. Again, amazing stuff happening in every city. If I put all the events from Rochester and Syracuse on my site, plus the Finger Lakes, we would be probably over 200 events for you to choose from each weekend day. Each weekend day, not for the whole weekend, each weekend day. There's that much going on. So check it out. This weekend, starting Thursday and Friday, we'll wrap up the Blues Festival. It's actually started last night, the 15th, in Syracuse. I think that's at the fairgrounds. Syracuse Jazz Festival will start on Wednesday the 21st and run through the weekend. That jazz festival is all free. So go find a parking spot, get out, walk around. You can. That's not on my site. You're going to have to actually Google it. Syracuse Jazz Festival 2023, and you'll find the schedule there. Same thing with Rochester. You'll have to Google it, Rochester International Jazz Festival. But that jazz festival is running for 10 whole days of jazz nonstop, day and night. Walk around town, lots to offer. You'll check it out. At Lincoln Hill Farms, I talked about their ticketed events, but every Sunday they have Sunday Fun Days, and the farm is free entry, free parking. They offer music from 1 to 8, usually 2 or 3 different groups, local favorites, and it's a farm environment, so you can take the kids. There's goats and other farm-related things to see. It's a really great place to go. There's food and beverage for purchase, so go have a family picnic, free admission, do what you can do. I'll keep talking about the Grassroots Festival till it happens, July 20th to 24th in Trumansburg. Again, they have the whole weekend of music, but the week leading up to it, they do what's called Culture Camp, and they have lots of different seminars and lots of different artists presenting food and drink and music, all sorts of cool stuff. So you got to check out that website too. You can get to the Grassroots Festival via my site. However, you might want to look at their site to see all the extra stuff coming up. I'll just be listing some festival highlights on my website. And the last thing I'd like to say is that it's so easy. I know for people who are working, the week is sometimes long. You have families and lots of people to take care of, and you get home on Saturday, you get your chores done, and you want to sit back. Well, I'm going to suggest that you get out and you go do something. It doesn't have to be expensive. There's music happening everywhere, but you'll find that if you go out and make a memory, that your weekend somehow suddenly will become more fulfilling, you'll remember it, and you can go to work with something to talk about. Otherwise, you're just going to sit home, you're going to be on your phone or watch TV or blah, 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 blah. So I just encourage you to go out. There's so much to do in the Finger Lakes. You got to love it. You got to get out, do something fun with your family, your friends. Invite people to the Finger Lakes to go out with you. Now you have a planning tool to make a plan. Anyway, I love music. I hope you do. Find me on Facebook, FLX Music 247. Lots of events are scrolling through my Facebook page, so get on there. And of course, you'll find Who To on Instagram, and we encourage you to follow us there as well. And lastly, if you have a music event or if you're a venue that is just hearing about the site, let's get connected with a quick email at flxmusic247@gmail.com. If you have any comments about the site or questions, feel free to get in touch with me. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. So hope to see you out. You'll see Who out. Who and Emily will be out. I'll try to be out. If you see us or if you see someone wearing a shirt, say, where'd you get that? And let's connect. All right. Have a great week. We'll see you around.